Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Earth Angel Intuition. My name is Sabrina. I'm here to do your past, present, future energy forecast for October 2019. So, without further ado, let us begin. Our past energy is the High Priestess. The High Priestess knows things. She doesn't really explain to people how she knows them, she just knows them. She's the one to cut through the BS and see past the double talk or the motives and find out what's really going on, if you will. She looks within. She sees and hears and knows, and it all makes perfect sense. It's a very common sense kind of card and a way of being. It's being able to, again, see past the smoke and mirrors and figure out what people's true motives are. It's all about intuition. It is followed by the Hanging Man. The Hanged Man sees things, again, from different perspectives. He looks at things differently. It could be the same old situation, the same old story, but he's put himself in a position to understand it from someone else's perspective. And that's a good way to have insight, is through hindsight and foresight, and then insight will tell you the basics, kind of weed out. It's all about deciphering the difference between what people say and what they do, and not just what they say, but the way they say it. That's important. So together, there was a new focus, and it was based on your intuition and what made sense and what didn't. If it doesn't make sense, it's probably not true with the High Priestess, and she's going to figure it out and get to the bottom of it. And the Hanged Man is all about, again, perspective, but it's also the frame of mind in which you approach a situation. And that's kind of how that played out, is there was some kind of truth that you knew, and you had to see it from a different point of view to understand it, to make sense. Our present energy, is the Five of Cups. And the Five of Cups is not so much a stuck energy, but it is a block. It is someone who is dwelling in the past, who is disappointed, perhaps, and it's mainly focused on what is lost. As you can see, he is on his knees. He's depressed, and it's all about crying over spilled milk, if you will. Sometimes we have to clear negative patterns, old patterns, cycles, and get rid of old energy before we can move ahead. And it looks like that's a lot of what that's about. If you notice, he's not really stuck. He's not in a self-imposed prison. There's no external pain that's being caused to him, say like the Ten of Swords. So it's more like mourning over what has been lost, rather than focusing on the two cups behind him and what is left, rather than what has been sacrificed even. It's clarified by the Seven of Pentacles. And the Seven of Pentacles is all about reaping what you sow. It's the harvest. You've planted the seeds. You have nurtured those seeds. And now they are bearing fruit. But this person is too stuck on what he's lost rather than what he's gained. And a lot of times, because the Five of Cups is all emotional energy, and the Pentacles are in the physical plane, in this realm of the earth. So it could mean that perhaps in this situation, maybe you gave more than you got in return in an emotional capacity. But if you'll notice, there's still many rewards to be had here and now. So if you could get this block cleared away, then you could see that there are 2 cups that still stand. And there are 7 pentacles still waiting to be harvested. They do bear fruit. There are fruits of your labor. But in a way, you're kind of emotional about what has been and what was. And again, it's mainly a block. And an example is, again, of crying over spilled milk. What's done is done. What's gone is gone. And all we can do is press forward and look ahead. When we look ahead, what do we see? We see Temperance. Temperance is very confident. It is definitely head and heart coming together and finding peace through balance and harmony. And that's the way that we really truly experience joy in our lives. They say, well, you gotta make yourself happy. Find what you love. And, you have to find happiness within. Well, how do you do that? You read a book, you take a bath, you listen to music. What do you do to find that inner happiness? Well, you have to have balance. And joy comes from peace. I believe that, plain and simple. We're going to go ahead and clarify before we get into it more. Temperance is also about patience. She's not all about justice or karma. She doesn't really bring a lot to the table. It's more from within. If you notice, the High Priestess is about inner knowledge. The Five of Cups is about your inner turmoil. And Temperance is all about inner peace. So there is this evolution here. And when we look at things differently, in a different perspective, in a new way, and we see what's real and what's not real. I keep kind of comparing that with these 2 cards, because there's a knowing here. Someone was seeking some kind of truth and clarity, and they had to look through someone else's eyes and see a situation differently. And they see maybe that they gave more than they got in return. But not all was lost. It was not all for naught. And whenever you look inside and you find that, you realize it, then you're going to find the peace and the balance and the harmony with the Temperance. And it's going to bring you comfort. And it will bring you a new kind of joy. Instead of sitting here and being depressed and mourning the past, you're going to be at peace with it. And when you do that, you get the Ace of Swords. And the Ace of Swords is not an ending in any kind of way. It's the opposite. It's a whole new, fresh start. It's a beginning. And it's a new way of thinking. Rather than being so emotional, rather than being so pessimistic, it's not a negative light at all. The Ace of Swords is all about having a fresh, new perspective. And I couldn't think of any brighter conclusion to look forward to in November than to get out of this blocked energy. It's not being stuck. It's not being hurt. It's just some remorse for what was sacrificed in the greatest good. But there are many pentacles in this this world, this life. It's not in your imagination. It comes from here. It starts here. It evolves. And yes, there's a little bit of loss, and it's a little sad. But there are rewards for your sacrifice. And if you can get out of that, then all you have to look forward to is brand new. This is trading in the old car for something new. Yes, that vehicle got you through. But when you get in the new vehicle, you realize, I'm off to a new adventure. These are a new story, a new chapter. Not just a new chapter, but an entirely new book. It's a whole new you. So stay positive. Find that peace inside between your head and your heart, and realize what all this work is for. And you will get that new beginning. That's a promise. I love you all. I wish you well. And namaste, peace, harmony, balance, and your new start is a guarantee. Please take care, be well, and God bless you.